Hello, and welcome into what is going to be my thoughts on the FM console version of Football Manager. This is mainly in comparison to the main game. Just a wee thing now. I am also taking this chance to test this microphone, so I'm going to weigh that up off things. But we should be alright with that regard. But, as I say, this is going to be my thoughts on main positives and negatives of the console version with regards to the full version, which is the standard one you buy on the PC. But we'll start with the negatives because there's less of them, I think personally. The big negative with the console version is you don't have a keyboard. So whenever it comes to like searching for something, like searching for a specific player or a team that you might want to check in on, for instance, say you're managing League One, you're supporting Manchester United, you need to look them up. You kind of have to go through like the leagues, work your way up through them, and then pick Manchester United rather than actually just type Manchester United in. Although it is doable, but you have to use that controller and then type it in that way, which I don't really like. Although, in saying that, there is another one you can buy, which I'll put the screen up here, a screenshot from Amazon here now, which is a keyboard for the Xbox controller, which attaches onto the bottom of it, and it is about 20 quid. So if you end up playing the console version and you want to carry on playing it, that's probably useful for you. Another thing I have learned recently is that the Xbox Series S and X, you are also able to play them with a keyboard and mouse. Certain games like Fortnite, CSGO, you can do it. I haven't actually tried the Football Manager, but I don't see why you couldn't. So that's probably another solution around it. On top of that, my other thoughts and negatives are mainly small things, like when you're actually picking a tactic and trying to somebody, say for instance changing a centre forward into a centre midfielder, you want to put a flat three in centre midfield. It can be very difficult to do that, but it's also quite difficult to do that in the real game if you ever actually try it. It's difficult to get three in the middle or three full because you keep switching them. It assumes you're picking one of the two rather than trying to put a third person in there for some reason. It seems to be a fault in the game rather than specifically the console version. But them's the main negatives. As I say, not too bad. But there's a few other wee things like navigating. It takes a bit of getting used to rather than it's bad. I've used both the console version on PC and the controller version. Control it with the controller. And it takes a wee bit of getting used to, but it's not that bad. The only thing I will say is I don't understand. There's a moment in the tactic screen where you move where you're focusing on with the stick. You then use the D-pad to pick a specific player, and then you have an option which forces you to use the stick again. It's small things that kind of need worked around, but nothing that big. Like it's just that process is a bit weird. That you have to go D-pad, you have to go stick, D-pad, and back to the stick again. But other than that, it should be alright. They're not too bad. They're mostly small things. That's just from having to use a controller more so than anything. But as an experience, I've been sitting here now, playing it on the TV, playing the games in between the season I've done with Lincoln, which videos are on the channel, and it's fine. Just sit back and play it. I imagine if you're on a big TV on a sofa, it's a small thing that makes the game more accessible. If you're new into Football Manager or you played it years ago and you're coming back into it, it's a small thing you get used to very quickly. So it is. But with regards to the positives of this thing, there's a few things in this game which are brilliant, I think. The first one is the main screen as you're playing a match. I honestly think this is far better than the one in the PC version, because they've taken the information you need and just put it in. There's not a lot of fluff around it. There's not a lot of stupid things on the screen directly. You have the three options of the six. You have to drag it in and out. It can be convoluted in the PC version. On the console version, you have your stats on the left, your key events on the right, and how your squad's doing along the bottom of it. That is simple. Your match stats has your key stats that most people watching football understand. You know, your shots, your XG, corners, and possession, as well as a live league update for when you're in the league. For instance, the picture here, you can see at the bottom there, I'm currently 14th with Lincoln. Not great, but anyway. We'll gloss over the excellent performance here, but we are moving up the table, as you can see from the green arrow. On the right, there's enough there you can see. You can see Draper scored the first goal, Duffy got the assist. And Duffy scored the second goal with third assist. It was a rebound from a corner. That's what happened. Duffy had a shot from a corner and it come back to him and he scored the rebound. That's why there's no assist. And then along the bottom you can see we're generally doing quite well. So we are. Duffy's best player so far. Everybody's above a 7. Well, apart from the keeper, but hasn't done a big lot. So that's why that's there. And when a highlight's going on, you will see here now just a bit different. You lose smaller, you get the highlight, and the wee bit at the bottom stays. The wee bit at the bottom is also brilliant. You have the bit in the middle, which is each controlled by a button. For instance, you want to move, you want to be a bit more, you want to reduce your mentality a wee bit or increase it. You hit X, select it, on you go. It's that simple. You want to do a shout, I think is Y from the top of my head. I can't remember. It was in the one that showed the it was in the one that showed the goals and all. That was a second ago. The button was there. Hit the button, select one, on you go. Another thing is you have the tablet there if you want. Pull the left trigger, hit it, on you come. Everything is simple from the controller. And that is brilliant. You're not coloured unless you want it. It's also built in a way that it doesn't feel like it's just a big empty space doing nothing. As I've said before, in the PC version you have stats, the dugout, which is alright, and then you have the thing you put in from the side. You can have 1, 2 or 3 screens, or 6 depending on what scaling you have. But it throws a lot of information that you don't need, which is brilliant. Particularly if you're new or returning off their way. Because this game, I've been playing this game for about 20 years now. If you were to start now, I wouldn't. I have no problem admitting that. If I was starting now, I would open this up, go, fuck this, I'm taking on to do with this. I've tried out of the park baseball and that happened. So I just went, nope. And left it. Another thing I like about this is the player screen. You have the nest size, but without clutter. You have your simplified view. You have your attributes, and they're called them stats there, but they're not. You have your stats in the bottom right. So you have your contract, what the wage is, how long it's for, all that, and your transfer information, or the listed transfer value. That's it. Another thing is, this doesn't affect me too much, but it is noticeable that in the console version you have the one value, in the PC version you have the range. That is worth noting, but it didn't affect me. I can see the positives and negatives of both. The range, that's sort of, this is at least worth one to the other, whereas the value, you have to remember that's a rough number. But so again, as I said, the main benefit of this game is that you're not getting a load of information that you don't really need. You can go into navigation and look up the data hub if you want. It's there if you want it. It's not necessary. It's not being thrown in your face to use it. If you want it and you want to go a bit more in depth in this game, you can. You don't need to. And if you need, actually, here's another thing I've remembered. I'm looking at the screen you see it now. Is the shoulder buttons just for going along the menus is brilliant. It's just go 2 or 3 one way, 2 or 3 the other way. That's you. So it is. That's a fantastic way of navigating the game. That is, again, you having to pull the mouse way up and the way to click it and go back or whatever. Just, it's a benefit of having the controller there, really. So it is. But so the main benefit is simplicity. It's I've enjoyed it. To me, it actually feels like a different game that I've enjoyed. And I'm recording this video now. I don't think I've talked about anything in Football Manager as enthusiastically in quite a while as the simplicity of this game. And it doesn't feel like I'm losing much. That's the honest truth. From going from the full version to this, I haven't lost much in terms of what I actually played. But, so, overall, my final thoughts on this is, as a basic game, brilliant. Ideal, getting the new people in, or getting returning people in. That's brilliant. And if you want to go on ahead, you can get the full version after a while and just go for it. There's actually a very good pathway in this game, which is built accidentally, I think. You have the console version. I'm explaining on Xbox here. Just Xbox is probably the easiest one, but you have the console version on PlayStation as well. But if you have Game Pass in particular, this is brilliant. You have the console version. You have the console version for PC, which can give you a bit more detail. You can see screens and all, but clear. You can put more detail on the screen. For instance, your squad view can be more detailed. You can get more columns in the squad view. And then, when you're ready, you can go for the full fat version. If you're in Game Pass, you can do all this for the one fee, by the way. It's all in Game Pass for FM24. You can start with the console version and work your way up gradually. So you can. Actually, I've just realised another bad thing about this, I think, is you can't have modded versions of this. In the console version, you have the console version, that's it. You have the default game. Which I suppose isn't a bad thing. If you're starting the game, it's not really a bad thing, but going forward, you can't put customization like badges, player faces or whatever. You have what FM has. For instance, you have the Football League, which is why in my save I picked Lincoln. I picked the Football League team to show it off a bit. But, so that's it. It's the ideal starter way to get into Football Manager, this here show is. It's not the big daunting game that the full VAT one is. You can start and work your way into the way it plays. You can learn the match engine, which, as far as I'm aware, it's the same match engine, so we're not too bad there. But you can learn it and just work your way into it. If you're in Game Pass, this is all the one fee, all the one price, it's all included. And it's a very good game. In fact, genuinely, I might actually prefer playing the console version to the real one. And I expected to learn a lot of things. I never expected to say that. I'm not sure if it would be for certain or not, but it possibly might be. I might actually prefer it. So that's coming from somebody that's played the full game for 20 years. They might actually prefer the console and stripped down version. So anyway, so as I say, it's a great feature to get you in with. If you're playing the full fat version, I'll stick with the full fat one. This can be a bit of a novelty, but if you're coming in now, I would definitely start with the console version. At least start with the console version on PC. So I would at the very least advise that. On Xbox or PlayStation, yes, but at the very least, get the console version on PC. It's quite handy too. You can actually take a save from if you're playing on Xbox, you can take a save from an Xbox into the PC version. So you can. So I actually with the one Xbox account. So I actually done that a couple of times. For instance, most of my screenshots are done through the PC, but I was playing it through controller and TV. So that's my thoughts here now. So thanks for watching. I thought that this video was one a bit longer than I thought it would have. So thanks for watching. Goodbye, good luck, and I wish you all well.